Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Kaelan's story. So we're going to pick up right where we left off, right on the spot, as Kaelan has just been given a cloak of displacement by his instructor. We're still in the tavern, Mary Guard, and Sean and Matthew are sitting with you.
Mm-hmm.
Triss has just left the tavern. Your head still rings a little bit from getting wrapped on the back of it. What do you do?
He just kind of stun locked it for just a half second at the incredible gift that his instructor all year gave him. And he is going to dart after Triss, try to catch up with her.
As you leave, you hear from behind you Matthew say, "I think he's in trouble." And Sean says, "Oh, I." You dart out of the Mary Guard. You find yourself on the main street, right outside the tavern. Up to your left is the Mary Guard Academy. To your right is the actual street down to the ocean front. So, what do you do?
I'm going to look for Triss.
Roll a perception.
My
13.
passive is 23.
Great. As you turn and you look for Triss, you see, so from here you can see the front of the Mary Guard. You see the doors are slowly closing as somebody just entered.
Oh, I dart for it.
Okay. As you run to...
In fact, I'll use a spell slot to cast Kaelan's Fleeted Fury.
Okay. You move quickly. You sprint up to the doors. You manage to get to them just as they are, closing.
Okay.
As you blast through them, you see Hirsch is still seated at the front desk. It's later in the evening. It's maybe about 6 or 7 o'clock now. And just turning the corner, you see Triss, who's it looked like heading back to the Rangers classroom. But they both turn as the doors to the Maryguard Academy slam open as you sprinted up to them. And your momentum was deposited directly into both doors.
Oh. Triss, wait.
Are you in some hurry?
And he just kind of fixes himself a little bit and walks up to her just normally. I'm a bit of an idiot when it comes to social situations.
So I've heard.
Right. Well, this is a wonderful gift, and I really wanted to properly say thank you for everything. You've taught me so much, and I truly appreciate all that you taught me this year. And I want to give you something that means a lot to me. And he'll take the bow from that strap to his pack, the handmade bow that he brought with him from home. I brought this with me, and I made it myself. And just to show my appreciation for all that you've done, I want you to have it. And he presents it.
Okay. Triss looks at you and at the bow that you're holding out. There's a long pause. Then she says, "No, you paid for it, right? Wasn't out of the goodness of my heart. Job.
I understand. I still think you deserve the appreciation.
She takes the bow from your hands. She's looking, like she's got it in both hands and she's looking down at it. You see the corner of her lips kind of quirk up in a small smile. She just says, "Thanks, Kaelan." I'll remember it.
Good. That's all I could ask. And thank you for everything.
Well, now you have to prove yourself on actual jobs. Gotta spread my reputation.
Of course. I hope I can do you proud.
Well, so far, pretty good.
Oh.
Gotta work on that patience, though.
I'm patient in some things, but I understand.
He raises an eyebrow.
I do plan on returning home for a little bit in the next coming days. I'll seek passage.
Going on holiday.
With the team.
Okay. Going
Hopefully.
on holiday with a task in mind.
Aye.
She looks over at Persh, who has been pointedly looking down at his desk at his paperwork. Without looking up, he says, "Thank you for."
I'm planning on seeking a window ship for passage.
Persh looks up, and he says, "But you're intending to pay for it."
Aye.
Then I can definitely find something.
Good. I think
even if it's something as little as a delivery.
I think it'd be fun for the crew to experience something like that.
So, see me in the morning. I'll have arranged something.
Also, some thought for you, Persh. We were talking about possibly getting another spellcaster on the team. Possibly a contractor.
Persh, sets his pen down, looking up at you, and he says, "Is this intending to replace a member, or are you hoping to expand your team to 6 members?"
Open to expand the team. We really haven't worked with Tame too much lately. But
I will warn you that we'll expand your qualifications to heavy recon. I'd have some dicier assignments. Right with that.
let me talk to my team first and see how they think about it.
Then I will have answers for you both.
Aye.
Go on,
Thank you,
then.
Persh.
Find them.
Thank you, Triss.
You're welcome.
And I'll sagely nod and leave the merry guard to the merry guard.
You head back to the tavern. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking for anyone on the way?
If he runs into the rest of his team, he knows Sean and Matthew are there. But
at the doors, you basically almost collide with Durakan, heading into the tavern as well.
Oh, Durkon, you getting a drink?
This is the right place for it.
Of course.
Your deduction skills are as excellent as ever, Kaelan.
Thank you, my friend. Let's go celebrate.
Absolutely.
Also, your test is like tomorrow. You know that, right?
Duracon blinks. There's like a moment's hesitation, and says, "Of course I did."
The insight check.
Sure.
Ah, 22.
He had no fucking clue.
Uh-huh.
You
Kaelan will
watched
just,
the stages of grief wash over his face at that moment.
Kaelan will give him a reassuring pat on the shoulder and like lead him inside.
Yeah. As you do, and you spot the table with Sean and Matthew, and Aim sat down. See that she has a large mug in front of her. Duracon says, "Everyone is already here."
Seems to be.
Excellent. Perhaps all of you can keep me in check. I need to be on top of my game tomorrow.
Sure thing.
Here, Matthew kind of snickers, and Sean says, "Of course we'll do that, because you're a good teammate, right?" And then Matthew, makes eye contact with him, and then he seems almost like a little bit ashamed, and he's like, "Of course."
We'll go sit down.
Okay. So, do you have plans, or are you just celebrating?
Celebrating, and then I'm going to bring up the conversation of maybe expanding to 6. Seeing. Okay. So I spoke to Persh about possibly getting another heavy-hitting spellcaster on the team. However, he did say that missions and jobs would be more dicey. I think that's the word he used for it.
Aim doesn't say anything. That she pulls out a cigar and lights it. Matthew says, "Does that mean we'd be getting paid more?"
I don't know those details, but
I imagine if it's a harder mission, they'd pay us more, right?
I think so.
John says, "You can never go wrong with more magic. I've got some infusions that I've got in mind if there's another spellcaster on the team. Maybe I could throw some their way." And then Duracon immediately says, "I can perform magic. Why have you not provided me any infusion?" And Sean immediately, without missing a beat, says, "Oh, I didn't want to assume that you'd take the insult of needing more help." And Duracon immediately, "A good point. No soldier of Vion requires assistance. They ask for it."
Well said. Well said. What do you think, Tame?
She, takes a long drag on the cigar and says, "More money."
Do you have any reservations?
Gonna hit whatever we... So...
All right. And Duracon and Tame are the ones that haven't passed.
Correct. They're still...
Or haven't taken the test.
Yeah. Duracon's is tomorrow. And Tame's is the end.
All right. Well, I believe, Tame, your test, I got some insight. You're going to be at the end of the week.
I'll be ready.
So, at the end of the week, I was hoping we could all book passage to Phobos on a window ship. And Persh would have something ready for us along the way.
Let me roll for a moment.
All these rolls are scaring me now.
It's nothing to be worried. These are just rolls that typically I do on Foundry, and you wouldn't even see. But because you can hear them, Immediately, Tame and Matthew, like at the same time, go, "What's a window ship?" And John's like nodding. Duracon just looks confused.
Okay. How much do I know about a window ship?
Roll either a history or Arcana.
Well, it's going to be Arcana. I know I've heard of them, and I don't know shit about them.
6. You know window ships exist.
Yeah.
Sean seems to know what a window ship is. And when they ask, he says, "Oh, it's a vessel that's been generally inscribed with runes that a powerful spellcaster, sometimes a druid, sometimes, a sorcerer or a wizard, can channel the ship and all of its crew into the astral sea, which allows it to cross the vastness of the crystal ocean much more quickly than a typical ship could. That being said, it's in the astral sea, and there are dangers there that you won't come across on the actual crystal ocean. So typically, they're a bit more expensive and a bit more dangerous."
Well,
Tame just shrugs and says, "Sounds fun."
is Tame like pissed off right now or something? Can I get a
that's
general
just
vibe check?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. It sounds like she's pissed off about something. Oh fuck! All right. Well,
With a 10. You get the vibe that Tame is chill. Like, she just always kind of has this demeanor of
RBF.
a little dangerous, yeah. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
that's Tame, apparently.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
I need a pepper steak. And she, like, waves down the barmaid.
I'll get one too, I think.
That's because you have good taste. Don't prove
I like
me
good
wrong.
food. I hope not.
The pepper steak at the Merry Guard is 6 silver for the full entree and drink.
Okay.
The rest of your team all seem to like the idea of ordering food, particularly to Duracon. He's like, "This is an excellent idea. Or sustain myself. For calories are besteries." Sean looks at him and says, "The fuck does that mean?" "I don't know. I heard someone say it yesterday."
Hi. Well,
So
I'll look into where to charter a window ship tomorrow. Now that most of us have graduated and the two of you are going to graduate, we'll set things up.
Matthew speaks up and says, "My best gamble will be the docks, where they do that, right?"
Window ships are a bit different. They might be. We might have to go to Argus City, but I'll look. Well, why don't us three go down to the docks? See what they say.
Duracon says, "Am I not invited?" And
You have
immediately, yeah, everyone's like, "You have your test." Shit.
He just forgets, like, just every 10 minutes.
Yeah, he has dump stats, I'm afraid.
Oh, wonderful.
But Matthew
All right.
and Sean are both of them. Says, "That could be interesting. I've never actually chartered one before. I'd love to see how it is that they handle all the weird questions."
Yeah,
So I have a few.
I know you do.
Take that as a compliment.
You're inquisitive. It's a good thing.
I save. Spend the rest of the evening basically hanging out with your team, eating, drinking, walking. Remembering and constantly reminded that his graduation is today. Duracon is the first to leave. You basically, this evening is kind of set to your own pace, and we can progress to the next day if you'd like to.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it next day.
My next question for you is, now that he's graduated, how does Kaelan sleep that night? Does he do anything? Does he send a message? Does he, like,
I think
stay up all night from the aftermath, or is he relaxed and calm about it?
I think the rest of the night after Duracon leaves, he's just kind of relaxed, just hanging out with, Sean, Matthew, Tame, and he'll get drunk. He didn't allow himself to get drunk all year, most nights, but with everything done, there's no reason to not have a good time.
What kind of drunk is?
I think he's a bit of a happy drunk. And he likes to play like games, like drinking games. He's very competitive at heart. So he'll spend some time like showing different drinking games that he used to play with his own friends back in Phobos.
Okay.
Alex and Shay. And that'll be the rest of the night. I think he goes back to bed at like 1 in the morning, and he will sleep in.
Okay. I think you will find that Matthew, Sean, and Tame are... Well, Matthew is extremely competitive when it comes to drinking games. Tame, who... it was funny that you mentioned Resting Bitch Face, because when Tame drinks, it's like completely the opposite. He becomes very like friendly and huggy.
Okay.
Like it throws everyone off guard. Sean is not really discernible that he's drunk.
That's fair.
He's the sort of drunk that you can't really tell, except for he has a hard time staying upright.
Very clumsy. Okay.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, he probably has the lowest dex out of the party.
Sean, no. Sean's dex is pretty good. I mean, compared to the ranger and the thief, yeah, it's worse, but it's certainly better than Duracon's.
Okay, fair.
And Tame, like, is a little slower than Sean as well.
Yeah, but she's built like
she's
a
a
brick house.
Yeah, she's a tank of a person. Her constitution is insane, so
yeah,
she's long into her cups, long before you guys like can even see straight.
I bet she drinks double of what we drink.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Her con is insane. The next morning, let's roll to see if you are hungover. Roll me a con save.
Oh, wonderful. Love it. Let's be like Tam. Oh, yeah.
You are hungover. You are suffering the effects of poisoned.
Oh,
You are
okay.
at disadvantage on ability checks, saving throws.
Cool.
Your head hurts. Everything is a little too loud. You're having a hard time orienting yourself. You need food.
Yeah. He's gonna try and stealth past Persh.
Okay.
into the
Oh boy. Alright, roll stealth.
into the mess hall.
At disadvantage.
Yep, we're going. Okay, that's a 1.
I don't think I even need to roll, but
No.
okay. Yeah. As you're like sneaking through the hall, you hear, Kaelan, have you had that conversation yet?
He shoulder checks the wall right next to him. Just no. What conversation?
About a 6th member changing of team status.
I think everybody's on board with it. There was a few questions. These are more dangerous jobs, so I assume we'll be getting paid more.
Aye. Oui.
All right, that's good. You mentioned they might be more dangerous.
They might be. It depends. I have handed it in. But perhaps you should sober up a little bit before you make them.
That's why it was right. He just kind of skirts past the desk into the mess hall.
Like if Hirsch is like, you trying to... He doesn't actually say that. You make your way into the mess hall. Let's see what kind of breakfast there is today. Okay. It is pretty standard for the Maryguard mess hall. The breakfast is not anything crazy. Seems like lots of eggs, bacon, sausage, and lots of bread. You eat breakfast, you gain 6 temporary hit points. You should also click the long rest button, because despite the fact you're hungover, you did get a long.
I did. I just hit it. Yeah.
Okay.
6 temp. Got it.
It is... I think even though Kaelan is hungover and he went to bed late last night, I think he probably gets up pretty early regardless from his natural clock.
I think... Yeah. Maybe an hour later, just because...
Okay.
So, like... 6:37. Yeah.
So the mess hall would actually be fairly empty.
Okay.
You wouldn't really encounter many people. Just encounter like the late students. Maybe they have a free agency today or something. As you kind of eat in silence.
Lots of pancakes.
Okay. Yeah, it'll help. Roll me another con save.
Okay.
Certainly this has to be better, right?
We'll see.
You've rolled really bad 4 times in a row.
Uh-huh. Hey! And
okay.
That's really good.
The hangover subsides. You're still feeling unpleasant. But you're no longer at disadvantage. Just from the sheer amount of carbohydrates that you overwhelm the alcohol with.
Yeah.
It takes a minute. Maybe you kind of eat breakfast slow for fear that it will come back up, but it doesn't. And as you emerge, Hirsch says, "Oh, that's looking better."
Not stumbling anymore. So, you're a candidate.
She is a wizard. Well, contract. She's been on a few solo agencies lately. Being for a team. How do you feel about Changeling? I know that some people are uncomfortable with them. I'd like to be transparent about.
That's fair. What does Kaelan know about changelings?
Roll history.
Not good at these.
I'm sorry, you keep asking questions about what you know, so... It could be nature. I'd allow nature as well.
Oh, well, let's see what the nature is. I'll roll both. Okay.
Okay. History, which... 11 nature. With a 17 in history check, changelings are... So, you basically know the common knowledge about changelings. Mm-hmm. Changelings are not common. They are much more common in northeastern Aurelia. So, like, far away from here, up on the, like, the cold borders near Shona, near those places that are, like, they're thought to be more magical, from the stories that you've heard. They're also fairly common in Trident. Specifically the island of Priscillus. Changelings are known to be kind of outcast by their own choice. However, with that high history check, you know that there have been a lot of heroes in history. Because you rolled well enough on that history check, please give me a religion check.
Okay, well, I'm on the world map right now. Just kind of looking over
Sure.
things. Religion. Okay. Well, let's go.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
You cannot think of changelings without also thinking of God. It's said
Okay.
that the old stories that you would have heard from being from Trident, the first changeling was Jamino. And that all changelings have some bit of Jamino. As such, if you win the loyalty of a changeling, they can be the most valuable people to know, because they will do anything for those that have won their...
All right. I know um, quite a few heroes were changelings.
You also know it is almost impossible to tell if a person is a changeling unless they happen to be the sort of changeling who goes around in their neutral, which is rare. They usually...
Right.
So that's what you know.
I don't judge a book by its cover too often. So I'm fine with it.
Good. Well, if you would like to loiter about here for a little bit, she should be passing through.
All right. We'll do. And he'll just kind of take a seat on the bench and not bother Persh with any questions.
Hirsch actually asks you a few questions while you're
Okay.
waiting, which I'm going to roll to see how long. Okay. Hirsch looks up as you sit down and he says, I've been meaning to ask you, said you had plans back home. You spoke to me earlier, and that news sheet article was illuminating. Do you intend to look into that while you're over there?
Possibly. I was under the impressions that it was the new Duchess that was looking for Halvard offspring. And she, from what I know, she loved that child dearly, my half brother. So this news means that the rumor wasn't completely true. That someone is looking for Halvard offspring.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't her. I don't think so. I think making a return trip home and meeting with my uncle would do some good, and maybe my team and I can do some good by finding the ones behind it.
He nods, speaking. I know.
Is this...
Go ahead.
Well, a return question for you then. Is this in alignment with the Marigard's interest?
We swear no loyalty to Trident, and as Marigard contractor, as you sign the amnesty clause until you decide to leave the Marigard, they have no clause on. We stick to that oath. If you should so choose to depart with the Marigard, then that's up to you. Whatever politics, connections you might have, those are on. Marigard Academy and the Marigard Mercenary Company doesn't care. You work for us. For us. Now, if there is an assassination attempt, and request aid, the personal issue threatening, fall behind that shield.
All right. But I guess a further question is, would it be of the Marigard's interest to have my team pursue whoever's behind assassinations?
Not without pay.
And if I were to convince the Admiralty of Phobos to hire us?
You can find a customer. He will, of course, be happy to.
Fair enough. I think I understand.
As an old friend of mine once said, good at something. Don't intend. Is this of personal interest to you, Kaelan?
Going home or seeking out the assassins?
Seeking out whoever it is that you believe is. I imagine going home is appealing to you.
It is appealing for multiple reasons, but I think I'm more curious than anything as to who would want these people dead. It's more curiosity than anything else. And, well, if I take care of it, then my own life is out of danger.
Hirsch nods. And sets the pen down. This is not the typical sort of thing that we have to deal with when it comes to There we go. Void with us. But it's not that it hasn't happened. So. Keep touch. So in Croydon. The snow. Did I already give you transcription paper?
And Kaelan was reaching towards his back, and he pats where the transcription papers are. I got him.
It should be enough. Just date.
And if anything, I'm sure my Uncle Rao will have some of the same sort of paper.
Hirsch kind of narrows his eyes and he says, "Don't think."
All right.
But if you happen to find someone who can cast the sunding spell, you can always reach out to Tabernacle. Available station. Better.
I'll have to ask this. You said wizard.
He nods.
Student wizard. Okay.
And it is as you are bringing that up, you hear footsteps down the hall. Hirsch glances over and says, "I believe her name is Wixica." And then you hear
Wixica.
"Call me Wix," as she appears, and you feel like when you look at her at first, it's hard to tell. It's almost as if the outline is blue. And you realize this is probably the effect of guys all within the Marigard Academy, making it difficult to perceive contractors from students that you haven't been introduced to or met already. But as she comes into focus, this is what she looks like. And she is
so small.
She is a changeling in neutral form, which strikes you as weird.
And she's pretty.
She is she is pale. Her hair is platinum white. Her pupils her eyes have no pupils. She looks as though it's almost like neutral white everywhere. And her clothes seem to match. Her robe is got the Merigard paisley across the shoulders, but the actual clothes themselves are white, just as she is. And she seems praising as she enters the room, and Persh says, "Right, Wix, Kaelan.
Pleasure to meet you." And I'll hold out a hand.
She smiles with a small smile and will step forward and shake your hand. Please. She doesn't feel like as crazy strong as Huracan, but it's clear there is some strength to her grip. She says, "I heard you were looking for another member, a sixth."
Aye. We've got a pretty good team, and we're excited for what the future holds.
What are you about?
Well, I've taken a liking to traveling the different outer planes. I trained under Triss and man, why am I blanking on this name? The sorcerer instructor. Under Triss and Amilla to be a Horizon Walker.
Wix nods, and you notice that she's paying a lot of attention to you. She's making full eye contact, and it might make you a little uncomfortable. But she doesn't break eye contact, and then she does. "I have interest in the other plane. Studied them quite a bit."
That's good. I've spent some time in Tabernac's classroom. Quite a bit.
We might have tripped over each other and not even known.
That's a little weird, but fair enough.
The guys. It's potent.
I saw a bit of it when you approached.
Illusion magic is one of Tabernac's favorites. He never talks about it, but if you look for the right books, you find them.
Fair enough. So, how long have you been with a contractor?
I graduated 4 months ago.
Oh.
I've been
All
handling solo agencies myself. Spent a lot of time in Terracona.
All right. Have you ever been to Trident?
She shakes her head.
Well, me and my team are looking to pick up a job that heads out that way, and then we're going to do a bit of investigating on I should say a personal matter of interest.
Roll me an investigation check, just out of curiosity.
Okay. Okay.
9. What you see, aside from, as she shifts to, move around, you see that the cloak that she's wearing, that is also all white. There is, clear on her hip, there is a spell book that you can see have runes glowing blue on them. Next to that, on her belt, you see a lot of wands.
Oh.
More than you would expect anyone to need.
Oh.
She seems to look over at Persh. He says, "So do we have an assignment, or is there..." And Persh kind of shakes his head. He says, "Not yet, I'm still arranging. However, I'd be making a voyage on a window ship."
Aye. Have you ever been on one?
She shakes her head, but with your natural insight, you can tell she actually seems excited about this idea. It looks like she's trying to rein it in, but it's clear going on a window ship is something she wants to do. But she just nods pertly and says, "That'll be interesting. Good for the study."
I think Sean will have a few questions with you as well. He's our artificer.
Oh. Might have some questions for him then.
I'm sure you would. We're
What
actually
What kind of... You said you have interest in the other planes. Do you practice planar magic, conjuration?
well, I'm a ranger, so my magical abilities are limited to, well, as a Horizon Walker, we have the innate ability to sense portals to other planes.
Fascinating.
So maybe I'll show you sometime.
You should.
Have you ever been to any of the outer planes personally?
I've projected through Tabernac's teachings. Been to the Beastlands.
Oh, really? All right. It's a bit dangerous, but
It was safer to practice my flavor of magic there than here.
and what is your flavor of magic?
I'm a war mage.
Oh, all right. So the many wands is fitting.
She smiles and nods, and she says, "I do my best work close."
Good. I'm about to go to the docks to see about window ship passage with Sean and Matthew. Matthew's our rogue. Our cleric is taking his graduation test today, and our barbarian is taking hers on Friday.
You see she's like doing math in her head, and she says, "You have a very diverse team. I see why you wanted to spell another spellcaster."
I think having a good mixture would be great.
I hope I can satisfy the owner.
I think you will.
I warn you, I realize by nature, as a changeling, some people are concerned about my presence. I'm not very good with people.
That's fine.
I have heard this. This has been said to me many times.
Well,
I ask too many pointed questions.
I think you'll get along with Durkon just fine then.
He is the
You might like
cleric.
him. Aye.
Do you know of which deity?
Vion.
Oh, we'll get along just fine.
Sure, you will.
Do you mind if I come with you?
No, I was inviting you.
Oh, I missed that.
Let me go. Let's go find Sean and Matthew. I think they might be still drunk or in their rooms, or. And he takes like a peek inside the mess hall to see if he can spot them.
I'm gonna roll a d100. Okay, you do spot Sean. He is on the far table holding his head. He has like a cup of clava in front of himself, and he's not looking up.
All right, we did a bit of celebrating Wix. So
You did just graduate, you said?
I
I imagine that vouches for some celebration.
did. We got a little out of hand last night. So
What did you have to drink?
I don't even remember.
I'm a fan of rum.
Rum's good. Rum's very good.
I like it with lots of juice.
All right.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Either way, she follow you.
Okay. He'll move over to Sean, and he'll like like slam the table right next to him.
Okay.
Good morning, Sean.
Oh, you're such a dick. Like as the clava almost spills over, he like totally jumps and he says, "That hurts so fucking much. Gonna remember that."
Well, get some pancakes in you. It helped me a bunch.
He looks up. "Is it just bright in here, or are you all white?" And Wix says, "Both."
By the way, this is Wix. She's a wizard and already a contractor, and Persh has recommended her to us, or us to her.
All right. I guess you work fast. We did just talk about it last night. Are we paid more? Did you say anything about that?
We do get paid more, and it is a bit more dangerous.
John nods, and he, like, kind of haphazardly tries to stand up, and then just sits back down and holds his hand out and says, "John Nolak, it's a pleasure." And Wix takes the hand and says, "You look like you could use maybe a little bit of a pick-me-up." And Sean looks at her kind of suspiciously. "What did you have in mind?" And he says, "Oh, I can't do it." Uh-huh. Right.
Pancakes and clava.
There's pancakes.
I'll go get them.
Oh, thank you. And
I'll run over, get some pancakes, plop them down in front of Sean.
you imagine he probably collected the clava without opening his eye.
Yeah.
I will roll another con save for Sean. Because, boy, it didn't go well. Okay. He's not immediately cured of his hangover, but it is some improvement. And it is, at this moment, that Matthew strolls into the mess hall.
How's he looking?
Fine.
I'm sure. Oh, God. All right.
He looks fine. And as he strolls in with, like, a pop in his step, he says, "Hello, fellow contractors."
Just flip him off.
You're looking bright and shiny this morning.
You fared well, better than us two.
Oh, did I? You need to learn how to hold your liquor.
It was the morning that hurt.
He then, he basically strolls right up to you guys and... "I'm going to get some clava, but who are you?"
This is Wix here. She's a wizard, and Persh recommended her to us.
"Oh, it's a pleasure." And he holds out a hand and picks it. "I hope to be an asset." She's, like, inspecting Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, "Did you maybe go visit the paladin or cleric teacher?" And Matthew just is smiling wide and he says, "Of course! I don't have to have a hangover if I don't want, do I?" He just strolls on over to get...
You're a cheater, you know that.
"No one said there were any rules to break," he says as he gets coffee. Or club. As your group kind of gathers, there's no sign of Tame. No Duracons at it. Cast. So your group, the three of you, excuse me, you,
Four,
and the other three, yeah. The four of you gather and begin to make your way through Farum.
Mm-hmm.
One moment, please. I've apparently lost the map of Farum. No, I haven't. As you make your way down the main street, with your high passive perception, you do notice Wix gets a lot of looks. A lot of people are turning to look at this changeling, who's clearly a changeling. With your high insight, Matthew seems completely unconcerned. Sean looks like he wants to ask questions, but he's holding back. But a lot of the looks you get in the town with your good insight, they look like people are seeing something they don't like. Wix seems completely oblivious.
All right.
Some people look like they're just seeing someone new, but some of them are seeing someone that like. It's almost as if they're seeing somebody with like a mess on their. They're surprised by her appearance. That being said, roll me a D100.
Okay. 86.
86. One moment. Believe that is a thing. Okay. As you are making your way down the main street, suddenly, a gnome just steps in front of your group. You don't recognize this gnome. He's wearing a long coat that seems to be covered in trinkets, and he says, "Oh, excuse me. You are of the Merigard. You're contractors, yes? You look like it. You have the look."
Aye.
I'm on the verge. My name is Milo. I am a visiting tinkerer from. Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Man.
Okay. He just looks like he's flustered. In a hurry. Says, I'm a visiting tinkerer from Port Sanctia. I'm on the verge of a breakthrough. And that breakthrough will pay my way back across the ocean. But, unfortunately, the herbalist, good old Bud, has decided to cut me off. Because I don't have the line of credit to pay for it, can I borrow 10 gold? That's all I need. Just 10 gold and I can get it.
What is it you're trying to get?
I don't know if you've heard of it. Perhaps Equisrit? And then Wix immediately says, you could just use Banasite. It's maybe a little more expensive, but you might be able to get it somewhere else. The problem, I don't have the gold for it. I don't have a line of credit anywhere else, but only Bud, and she will not sell it to me because I have neglected to pay her back. So just all I need is 10 gold, and then we on her.
What is this route?
Roll a Equisroot. Roll a nature check.
Come on. Okay.
Never heard of it.
I'll just kind of like look at the rest of the group and just kind of like get see what their insight is.
Sure.
Like their reaction.
One moment. You check your companions. Matthew is he is appraising the guy, and when you look at him, he says, I mean, I don't typically give gold to people who just ask. Sean looks at you, and he's expecting you to know something. And when you look confused, you hear in your head, that was right.
All right.
Wix says, I get where he's coming from.
So, what really is the point of giving you 10 gold? Because there's no such thing as Equus root.
Hold on. Roll me a persuasion check.
Fuck. Man. Just...
Hold on.
11.
The gnome looks at you and looks to your friends and he's shit! And he dashes off into the alley.
Alright, well. Well then. Shall we move on?
Hi, I think so. And Matthew just kind of strolls along.
Yeah.
Wick says, I'd not ever heard of it, but I thought that's just because I didn't know what it was.
Same. But, yeah. Figured he wasn't telling the whole truth.
Clever move calling his bluff. And Sean looks at you and he's like, right. And they resume following you through the town.
Like, in my mind, if it's still connected, I'll just, sorry. To Sean.
You just see him physically shrug. As you make your way down towards the docks, roll me another D1. This is not for an encounter. This is
34.
34.
Yes.
Okay. As you get to the docks, you see there are a number of ships that have pulled in, and it's a little late in the morning for them to be offloaded, so what you actually see is the docks are fairly quiet right now. It's maybe 10 in the morning, which at this point, it's, you know, the time for business at the docks is kind of over, and a lot of the sailors are either on their ships and passing the time, or they're in the town of Ferrum spending their leave. You are looking about, and as you do, you hear Sean say, right, so where would one go to find who it is that Archer's transport?
Oh, that would be the dockmaster.
I've never had to speak with one.
That's fine. I've met several in Phobos. We just gotta know where his office is. And he'll look around for something that resembles a dockmaster's office.
Or
Or
perception.
okay.
28.
Oh,
You find
yeah.
you see it immediately, basically. You get down to the docks, and this large building, that's kind of shaped like a big L, it is clearly, you see, over the door, it just says, Management and Dockmaster. You look toward it, you see it's got big open doors, lots of opportunity for air to pass in and out, big windows. You can see like the whole building, and you see there are a few people in and out of there. As you're heading toward it, suddenly Wick says, "Oh, there it is."
That's yeah. Good eye, Wix.
Thanks. No one's ever said that to me before.
All right. They'll head straight for it.
Okay.
Without any hesitation.
Inside the dockmaster's office, you see there are a number of basically countertops with various people doing work, some people having conversation. You see that on the side of the countertop that you enter, there are a lot of people who look like maybe they're captains or first mates. Some of them look in very expensive clothes. Some of them look in absolutely ragtag, rundown clothes. They all kind of like glance over at you and then pay you no mind. And as you enter, behind the counter, you think she's a high elf. She has a brown mohawk. and Copperskin, she looks up at you. She says, "Welcome to the Dockmaster's office. How can we help?"
I was hoping to see about passage on a window ship.
Where are you going?
Phobos.
What's your name?
Anchors, to be exact. Kaelan.
Kaelan. Okay. Here. And she begins sifting through paperwork. We don't have to roleplay this all out if you don't want.
He just further tells her that he's looking for passage for 6, his Merry Guard team, and he uses the Merry Guard as a name to possibly get a discount, maybe.
Sure. She says, because your sponsorship is from the Merry Guard, you qualify to act as men-at-arms, basically. Blades to protect the ship during its travel, which will help diminish the fee by quite a bit. And if there is trouble, certain captains are willing to pay. If the trouble occurs, you might make money.
Oh, okay. All right.
It depends on if there's actually trouble or not.
Oh, at that, he kind of turns to Sean, Matthew, and Wix and just, raises an eyebrow.
There are some spells I'd love to see how they perform in the...
Have you ever been?
Matthew looks at her. She says, "No."
It's pretty fun.
Insight check.
Go for it. Do I need to roll?
Wix, he rolled a natural 2 or a 1.
Nice. Man, how was
I don't think you even have to roll anything, but what does she get with a 1?
Well, I mean, it was fun. It's truthful that, he doesn't betray that he hasn't been there, but he might have been lying about how it was totally all fun.
The astral, okay. She just smiles and says, "Sure." Sean kind of narrows his eyes and he says, "All right, it'll be nice to earn some coin on this." And Matthew says, "Oh, aye, that sounds like a plan." And I'm sure Tame will be on board.
I think Duracon is, being a cleric of Ion, he's always ready for a fight. So
we'll sign up for that then.
All right.
Rick says, "All right." So you sign up to act as men-at-arms on a window ship, which the original fee, assuming there is no combat, they charge a silver a mile.
Oh.
Let's see.
Okay.
So that is...
this is total for all 6, yeah?
Yeah, all 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
So, in total, it's going to be 480 gold. And when you hear that price, then the basically the concierge says, "Now that'll be all refunded depending on any combat you see, and should it be, a problem, or if there is, it's by situation, the captain can award you your money back and then some. So consider it a down payment."
All right. I didn't know it was going to be this expensive, guys, so I might need some help. Just a little bit. And he takes out 200 gold and see if they'll be willing to help out. I have more. I just...
roll me a persuasion check.
Where is it? Why am I missing it? There we go. Okay, 14.
14. The three kind of look between each other, and then Sean says, "Get some out of Duracon." And then he puts 100 gold down on the...
Okay.
Matthew seems to be fumbling as if he can't quite find his gold pouch, and then Wix just puts the remaining.
Oh, thank you, X. Appreciate it.
I'm part of the team now, aren't I? Thought it might be a good idea to, well, cover it, or the rest of it.
Well, I appreciate it. Matthew, you're buying us lunch?
Matthew, is still like, I can't seem to find the gold pouch.
I'm sure.
Wix, glances at him and then points at it. Right there. Oh, look at that. There it is. Sure, lunch is on me.
All right. So 200 gold, all gold put out front.
You are awarded 6 tickets. There is a long pause as she's shifting through ledgers and lodge books. Please roll me a d8.
Okay. 4.
4. Let's see here.
The goat in this background check always gets me. Yeah, there it is.
All right. It looks like the next window ship that's going to be taking to port to anchors. Passing through here. The Royalist.
All right.
So, report to that ship on... It gives you the day. You are prepared. Chartered a window ship.
Okay.
And that you and your team will be assisting force or violence across the astral sea.
Pick. All right. I'm ready for that. That's gonna be so cool. But is it obviously after Tame graduates?
Yes.
Okay, so
It would
we have
be.
some time. Is it like way out? Do I have to wait a month or a couple weeks?
No,
or
it's a week and a half. So literally the middle of
the following week. Okay, gotcha. All right, we may be able to get a job in at that time.
Oh, probably.
During that time. Okay. So before we go on this ship, we have some time to maybe take a job here, close to Ferrum. What do you guys think?
I mean, we could always make some more gold, Matthew says, and John just looked at him. How big's that coin purse looking now, out of curiosity? I can't seem to find it again. I don't know. Right. Just
all right.
Exasperated. You basically have the time to decide whatever it is you want. You can time skip, or you can actually play it out. It's up to you.
Okay. Well, we have today Durkon is graduating or doing his test.
Sure, but we can dice roll out some small jobs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I don't really have too much.
Okay, so the way this is going to work is we're going to first roll up to see what kind of jobs are available. Okay. But I'm going to move the map back to Maryguard. returned, and you're basically talking to Persh, figuring out what you can do to pass time.
Mm-hmm.
Persh considers your team. All right, I need you to roll some dice for me.
Okay.
First is roll me a d6.
E6. 2.
Okay. One moment, please. Okay. Roll me a d100. 5.
45.
Okay. You find Hirsch has a few jobs available to you, and the one that he basically pitches you that would take a short amount of time, one of the farms, the outskirts of Ferrum, apparently their numbers of sheep are dwindling. They suspect wolves from the forest are just cleaning out their livestock. So, you are offered a job to go kill wolves, basically.
Oh. Okay.
Which you don't have to play out because your team is more than capable of dealing with some wolves.
Yeah.
So you basically would earn the gold for the job if you decide to take it, and it would take.
Sure. And I kind of want to see what Wix has in her repertoire.
Okay. The first thing you learn, Wix, she has some powerful spells. It was a little alarming when she annihilated several wolves with a lightning bolt through all of them. It seems as though she also meant it when she said she does her best work up close. As you find, she creates a shadow blade and uses it melee.
Whoa. Okay. Knowing wizards or the wizards that I've met, that's I think Kaelan would like when she got into melee, he would be like, he'd like cringe a little bit, like
Yeah.
just for the sole fact that he knows, Callie and Lorna.
Yeah. She behaves completely differently. Wielding a shadow blade, teleporting in close to wolves, and shredding them to pieces with a magical knife made of darkness. Being completely untouched, despite the fact that it looked like several wolves got a bite out of her. Not really sure how.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I don't think Kaelan misses wolves, like, with his bow. Because he has a +11 to hit.
Yeah, you'd have to really fuck it up to miss a... I think you'd have to roll a 2.
All right.
But roll me a D100. Let's see how well this job goes for you. 90. Okay, this job was small and quick. You did it that afternoon, basically. And you do it handily. You make sure that you deal with the entire pack of wolves. And with the extra time, Sean assists the farm in mending their fences and ensuring that will ever. And as a result, each party member earns 70 gold pieces.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So make a note.
70 plus 29 is 99?
9.
Okay.
As Persh hands over the gold, Wix You notice Wix puts the gold in the coin pouch. With your high passive perception, there's a lot of coin in that pouch.
Oh, okay.
He seems
Busy.
like, yeah. You could ask about it or not. It's up to you, but you do know that.
So you've been on quite a bit of jobs lately, or at least since graduating.
Yeah.
How many in total have you done?
See, she like thinks about it. Spent a lot of time in Doorwatch. 34?
Woo! That's quite the number.
I mean, it was either that or I guess just waste time reading. I want to
That's
practice.
fair.
I want to get better with what I have. Oh.
That lightning bolt was quite something, and that blade. I wasn't too sure about it, but you seem to wield it pretty well.
Oh, it's one of my favorite tricks.
You know, actually, I kind of put this in my bag, and I haven't really taken it out or taken a proper look at it. Maybe Sean and you can take a look at this and see if what we can make out of it. Sean, and he kind of calls Sean over, and he'll take out the dragon scale that he got from the Astral Sea.
Oh. Okay.
I just remembered that, the player.
Okay, hold on. One moment, please.
Hmm?
I made a note for that. As you hold out this dragon scale, I will roll for Wix.
From what kind of dragon is that?
An astral.
Astral dragon. Astral dragon scale.
She looks at it. She seems impressed. Sean. She like looks up at you and she says, "Where did you get this?"
It was a grift from a dragon.
An astral dragon.
When I went to the Astral Sea.
Wow. She like doesn't really seem to know what to say. Sean seems impressed as well, but it's clear he doesn't seem quite as into what it is as she does. Mechanically, she rolled really high, and Sean did not. So, let's see here.
This isn't the first time a dragon's given me a scale.
Oh no. Has it not? And she looks up very surprised.
Ran into a pretty young silver dragon in the up in Zephyr.
Ah. Right. That's normal. Why were you in Zephyr?
Oh, that's where the ranger classroom is.
Oh. Really should explore these some more. Okay. Well, if you know a good crafter, you can turn this scale into a magical item. Or you could use it to find the astral dragon that gave it to you. What do you want to do with it? Because the possibilities seem to be endless.
Oh, I don't know. What would be the best course of action? I mean, finding this astral dragon, it seemed to be pretty nice when I talked to it.
Well, astral dragons are renowned for psychic powers, psionics. You could make it into an amulet that granted you some abilities to communicate, or make it into a blade that could react to your thoughts. Maybe make an item that lets you bind a spell to your will. Could maybe be even a sort of bastion that could heal you through thought. It all depends on the crafter and what you want to do with it.
John, how do you think... Well, you've been spending a lot of time with Zurich, haven't you?
Yeah, well, kind of. Is that not... I mean, yes, I have. A very skilled crafter, Monica. Why do you ask?
Well, we have some options here. I think maybe we either go to Zurich or we can go to your instructor. See if they can make something useful.
We could certainly try. I mean, I don't know about Widget. She doesn't really like to do stuff for free, at least not unless she has to. Maybe we could do some work for either of them.
All right. Well, who do you think? Zurich or Widget?
I would say if we wanted it to be made into a weapon, we should talk to Widget, and if we wanted it to be made into maybe something like she was saying, maybe like useful or expensive, Zurich.
All right, let's go to Zurich then.
Right now?
Oh, we can go tomorrow if need be.
Doesn't matter. Asking. Just finish the job.
Well, let's go now.
Head to Zurich's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry, all over the place today.
Yeah, it's okay. That's why we practice improv. As you make your way to Zurich's Zickery, see that he is... Well, first, let me roll to see what he's doing. Okay. The Physickery is empty, and Zurich is behind the main counter, and he is apparently taking a nap. Because it is dead sleep right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as the door shuts, he... Customer? Patient? Sorry. And he's like...
More of a customer. A friend.
Oh! Hello there, Kaelan. And Sean. A pleasure. And... Not met you before.
Oh,
Waves.
This is another contractor named Wix. She's part of our team.
Oh, pleasure. Do you require any healing or maybe bongs and unguents or anything of the sort?
Oh, we require your expertise on possibly crafting an item out of an especially rare material.
Oh, one moment. Let me go get Hanukkah. She appears as she rounds the corner. Yeah? Rare material, I hear. Contractor's bringing it, so you know it's at least probably rare. Basically, introductions are... Zurich says, right, so, rare material, what do you have for us?
And he'll produce the astral dragon scale and place it on the counter.
Ooh. very pretty. And Zurich. Okay, they both rolled really well. Zurich says,
Nice.
When did you come across an astral dragon?
It was part of my graduation test.
Ah, well. We only have the one scale, so whatever it is that we make, we'd better do it right the first time. And he's like looking at Annika as he says that, and she says, What? Oh, like I'm the one who screws it up. And Zurich's like, Well, no. Anyway, what were you hoping to make?
Well, what's our possibilities here?
Well, buck, some banacite. I could see a regenerative headband. Perhaps a mind shielding ring. Or even maybe something of warning. Something that could sense the thoughts of approaching. Any of those sound interesting?
Well, since our group is fairly large for a contracting team, maybe not being surprised by enemies would be very helpful.
Perhaps a band of warning.
I think that would do well.
Well, you've brought me the most expensive material. I just require, I think, maybe 10 gold's worth of gold. No, 10 gold. But also, I think, maybe 100 gold worth of banacite. Get you forged up a ring of warning. Take a little time. With this scale forming the band. What do you think? Or just no? I think you're about right.
All right. What do you two think? Is that the right course of action here?
Wix says, I am real bad at not being surprised. Get lost in my thoughts, so that would be helpful. And Sean is like looking at her and he says, I bet you are. Aye, yeah, that'd be a good call.
All right, then. Let's do it. And he will produce... What, 110 gold? He'll put 120. Wait. How about 99 gold and then 22 platinum? So he'll just put the 99 gold and 2 platinum on.
So 119 gold?
Yeah, it is just a little bit extra.
Okay. Zurich, sets the gold on top of the scale, and he says, right, so, let's see. This gold down, this I will... Actually, if you wouldn't mind just bringing this to glass. Banacite, that would save us the trip, and have to charge you.
All right, sounds good. And he'll skedaddle over to glass, purchase the banacite.
Yeah, just... Sure, you buy the banacite, you come back, and Zurich says, right, perfect, I'll have this, we'll just melt this down, create a casting, this should be ready in the morning.
All right.
Just
good deal.
For maybe the work, maybe just gold and we call it square.
Oh, all right. I'll put 20 gold down.
Okay.
Or yeah.
So make sure you take that gold out of your inventory and remove the astral dragon scale.
Got it.
Skipping ahead a little bit, you can go ahead and add a ring of warning. Crafted lovingly by Zurich and Annika.
Okay. Ring of warning.
As you know, it means that you and any allies within 30 feet of whoever's wearing the ring cannot be surprised. So for the flavor of that ring of warning. Say when you get it, as soon as you attune to it, you hear, "This is your ring of warning. I am now paying attention."
All right.
Of course,
Great. All right. That is not an actual item. Is it attunement or no?
it would be attunement.
Okay.
I will create. You can just
I'll
add
put a dagger
like
warning.
a dagger warning and then rename it ring of warning.
Got it. We'll do a blowgun of warning just because that's funny.
Sure. As you've done that, it's the next day. We can go ahead and roll another job if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of low on funds again.
Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, go ahead and roll me a d6.
18. D6. 3.
3. Okay. What? Okay, roll me a d10.
D10. 2.
2. Okay. You find a task. Hirsch basically assigns your team an old sage has come into town and is hoping some mercenaries from the Merry Guard will assist them. Their name is Hallison. We'll go out into the Rimwood with him to try and track down a caravan that was lost. As magic item on that caravan, the sage wants back.
Okay.
So, your team, with the skills of investigation and perception and survival, are a shoo-in. This task is going to take a few days.
Okay.
If you take it, I will roll to see how well you do.
Okay. I assume at this point we have everybody with us, right?
You have Duracon with you, team.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
The wolf, you did the wolf task in one day because you.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a D100. You?
87.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, you know the Rimwood really well. You leave the Merryguard Academy, get the information from the sage, and you find the caravan in 2 days. Deal with some minor, basically, you kill a couple trolls, find some minor resistance in the woods, basically a fey nature. You end up having to kill some redcaps and boggles. And you get the magic item, which you learn it's a, well, the sage described it as a tiara of the gods. What you find is it is like a crown, but Wix identifies it as basically a hat of disguise.
Oh, okay. I was going to say regal.
No.
All right.
Just a headpiece. But you bring it back, and the sage, Hallison, is extremely pleased for a multi-day task and how quickly and handily you it. You and your party earns 100 gold each.
Oh, nice. Okay. Perfect.
And then the following day is when released as a full-fledged contract. As Tame rejoins your party, well, he's not left your... I mean, Tame joins the party as a contractor. That is where we will end tonight's session. Preparing for your widow ship.
Ooh, sounds good. That's going to be fun.
So, is there anything, last notes you want to make before we end up tonight?
No. That was a lot of fun. It kind of got sidetracked a couple times, but
things happen. Glad you had a good time. And to those of you who are at home or at work listening, hi, Pen, and everybody.
hi, Pen.
We love you all, and I hope you all have